just got a little message from some. How do you like that? What a deal today, you know? It's been one of those busy times. Pinky's up to you, Yvonne. Hi, Cassie. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm here. So, yeah, I was going to do my hair, and then I just decided, nope, that's not happening. So, what you see is what you get, y'all. Maybe I'll just take it down. I don't know. It's still wet and damp, and it's got to dry a little bit. So, let's just let it dry. You're just going to have to deal with it the way it is. It's just been a morning and a half. Good morning, and good afternoon, everyone. So glad to have you join us. It's been a busy weekend. It's been a really busy weekend. How is everyone doing? Look at you all coming in. Hi. It's so good to see you all. It is so good to see you all, and forgive me for not calling you all out by name, but I know who you are and you know who I am, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for showing up. And guess what? We're blitzing today, people. I'm going to get downstairs and make myself a nice little smoothie and break my fast here shortly. Don't forget, right after this broadcast, I'm going to be hopping over to the Daily Dish. Now, the Daily Dish is our email newsletter that we do every day. And listen, we've been doing this for almost 20 years now. And so guess what? That is going to be happening over on, we're going to do a little blitz thing. I'm going to be talking about what the supplements are, what the this, that, and the other thing are, what you need to know, what you need to, take into consideration as you're doing this. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's a great place. It's a great way to really get that collagen loaded up, So we'll be talking about that. And it is, let's see, it is, I don't know, it's the Daily Dish though. You'll find it. You'll see that I'm in there, and so is Jenny. Oh my gosh, there's a hair in my eye now. We don't need that. Get out. We don't need that. So anyway, so thanks again for joining me. Thanks for all the sharing that you have done and all the wonderful, comments and all of that. I so appreciate you guys. It's just really fun. And today is Motivational Monday. Don't you love some fresh Mondays? I'm all about the Monday. You know what we get to do on Mondays? We get to start new. Every day we get to start new, but Mondays are especially fun. It's the day of the week that we get to say, it's Monday, and I'm going to get this going. I'm going to get this going. And that is exactly why I want to talk about procrastination. Procrastination is just evil. Can we make an agreement on that? Let's just put up our little pinkies and just say that we hate procrastination. Procrastination, how many times has procrastination taken you down a path that you don't want to go on, right? I have been there. I know you have been there too. And if you've had any, kind of progress in your life, that that being a procrastinator hasn't given you that. It won't, and it never will. I don't know what's going on here with my phone, but let's do it. Yeah, there it is. Hello. Rebecca says it's the naughty word. It is the naughty word. But let's break it down on how we can get it out the door, because here's what we've got to be looking at. If procrastination has crept into your life, then we need to sweep it out. Maggie, you might be the queen of procrastination, but we're going to take care of that today. What do you? I'm slamming things. Today's just a good day to slam. It's Monday. We slam things. Oh, shoot. There goes my quote of the week. Excuse me. Oh, it's way down here. Way under my desk. Hi, I'm back. Where did I go? I dropped the quote of the week. It is Monday. It's Monday, and things might be a little wonky all over the place, and you might not think that you've got this, but I am going to tell you right now, you've got this. You've got it. Are you ready? Are you ready? You know what? Here's what you need to know. If you don't like how things are, change it. You are not a tree. I told you I'm smacking things around a little bit today. You're not a tree. You don't have to stay where you are. You know, you got a doctor you hate, fire him. Something going around, say something. Say something happening in your relationships or something happening in your house that you don't like, fix it. You know what? We aren't just standing there. We're not like this cup. You know, the only time this cup gets used is if you pick it up and do it. We are so much more than we give ourselves credit for. And you know what? This whole procrastination thing, we are going to take the wind out of those sails and we're going to redirect it today. Are you ready? Are you ready for that? I am, because you're not a tree. Isn't it so good to know what we are and what we're not? We're human. We're dynamic. We get to move around. We get to make decisions. Well, if you don't like your home, then you got to figure out a way to like it. Because sitting around and focusing on things you don't like is going to get you exactly what you don't want. Let's look at that. You can change things. You can always change things. Even your home. And even if you can't move from your home, you can change things up. You can get some paint out, you can do something, and even if you're a renter, then fine, go buy some paint and then turn it back to what it was before you left. I can't tell you how many times I have taken something, the ugliest thing ever, the ugliest duckling, and I have changed it up because I want to live in a place that feeds my soul. I want the visual piece of looking around and saying, you know what, I really like this place. So there you go. So this week, by the way, and you guys have just responded greatly, and I am telling you, one of my 2 favorite supplements are these. It's Leptofix and Crave Crusher. Together, these things are the Appetite Control Kit. You can find them on savingdinner.com. Go to the store, find the kit. Don't order them separately, find the kit. There you'll get 10% off. And if you put 3 in your cart, 3 of these kits, that means these 2 together, we'll put the 4th one in for you free. And if you put ships free in the promo code, we will give it to you free as long as you live here in the United States. We will give you your shipping for free. That's a humongous value. And most of you, a lot of you have taken advantage of this. Do not delay. We run out of stuff. You know, we make huge orders and then we run out of stuff. And we pass on the savings to you. This is our savings of the week. This is, you know, it's going to give you $100 in savings. Trust me, over $100. And then we also have this Mindful Mug, Pinkies Up Cup, which will be yours if you order this little special of the week, our supplement of the week. I mean, this is amazing. Somebody was asking, what's this Pinkies Up? It is our, we've got this. It's saying that we're in it together and this is our community. This is just a little sign of being together in community and connection because we love each other, right? I like it. I love it. And I love this, that we get this time together and we talk about things, you know? We talk about things. We've got Lisa that we're holding up right now. Lisa's going through a little bit of a challenge, but here she is. She's, you know, playing full out. That's what this is what the whole thing is about. You want vibrancy in your life? Then start focusing on the things that you want. That will expand. You want vibrancy in your life? Play full out. Be with this. Be with a community that loves you and holds you and supports you and encourages you. I'm a cheerleader. Did you know I was a cheerleader in high school? Yeah, it's still here. Pinkies up. I'm not waving. Yeah, it's a sign of sisterhood. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm not waving my pom-poms, but I am waving my pinkies. So do it. And be a part of it. Be a part of this. This is how we just, you know, fill our little hearts and fill our little cups and feel good. And we're glad you're here, Debbie. We're so glad you're here. So, oh, and I'm so hungry. By the way, savingdinner.com/mama. You know what that is? It's our big workshop happening this Saturday with Marla and I. And we're going to show you mamas who are unhappy and scared and intimidated, overwhelmed about going back to school. Because you know, what's that going to look like this year for you? Even if you're a seasoned homeschool mom or if you're going to do some distant learning or whatever, we're going to help you get set up for the school year. That's what this whole thing is about. The swag bag alone should make you buy this. Swag bag alone is worth more than $140. And the cost of admission is $47. So go to savingdinner.com/mama. Get signed up today. It's going to be great. We got a lot of really good stuff for you, and I am really excited. This is a place where we really get to connect, and Marla and I get to be together, and it's super fun. So I hope you're going to be there, especially if you want to get dinner on the table every night, you want to do things with your family, and you want it to not overwhelm and freak you out. Because I know what that's like. You know, I was a homeschool mama for 8 years, so I understand. I know. But today we're going to talk about procrastination, because I think that procrastination sometimes is the mother of all things we just don't like about ourselves, right? We get overwhelmed and then we get paralyzed. And then procrastination comes over and just seals the deal, doesn't it? I hate procrastination. And as a matter of fact, I told that I in Body Clutter, when we wrote Body Clutter, I used to say that constipation is the body's way of procrastinating. Am I right, or am I right? So think about that. When we procrastinate, we're not doing the things that we want to be doing. We're giving it lip service, but we're not giving it any action. And as a matter of fact, we kind of work ourselves into this whole lather about having to do that, right? And I will tell you right now that if you are in this place of procrastination, then you're in a place of being stuck. You're in a place of being stuck. You're in a place of beating yourself up. And there's so many horrible side effects to this whole idea of procrastination. And of course, you know, what is the answer to that? Well, just do it, right? We hear that all the time, but we don't. And I get it. I've done it. I see it. I know it. I feel it. And I want to say, it's time for us to get off this whole crazy bandwagon of procrastination, because there are ways out of that toxic loop, and it is a toxic loop. Am I right? Here's what happens with procrastination. Well, I need to do the laundry. Well, not today. I don't want to do the laundry. I've got these other things to do. I got to get this thing done on Facebook, and then I've got to sing here, and I've got this, and I've got the kids to do, and I've got this, that, and the other thing. So you don't do it. And then you walk by the laundry and you see it again. And you, no, I'm not going to do the laundry. And you get this like negative reinforcement. And that negative reinforcement always brings about 5 friends with it, right? Negative reinforcement. You're just not good enough. What's wrong with you? Why don't you do this? You know better. Or this is too hard. Yeah, I get why you're doing this. And we go back and forth between babying ourselves and reinforcing that we think, oh, it's too hard, it's too much, it's overwhelming, I can't do it, to beating yourself up and saying, what's wrong with you? Get off your butt, get something done. This is enough, blah, 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 blah. Isn't this crazy? That is part of the whole, carousel of crazy. We keep doing these same crazy things. And it doesn't help. The laundry doesn't get done by itself. Have you noticed that your laundry doesn't jump into the washing machine and get going? Or have you noticed that laundry, when you pull it out and it's all dry in this big stack of Mount Washmore, it might be clean, but it's wrinkled beyond repair. You almost have to wash it all again because you didn't fold it. Then you didn't put it away. I remember I had somebody one time ask, they said, well, what do you do with the laundry once you've washed and dried it? And once you've washed and dried it and folded it, you put it away. It's pretty simple. And sometimes you have to, before you can put it away, and I think this is exactly what she was saying, was there was no place to put it. Well, if you don't have any place to put it, guess what you need to do? You have to go declutter, right? You got to get rid of all those clothes that you no longer wear, that don't fit, that don't have place, and if your hangers and everything's bulging out, it's time. It's time. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. So procrastination actually shuts us down. It makes us feel less than. It makes us feel like we can't do anything right. And it's also a way to kind of baby ourselves on one hand. It's kind of a way to baby ourselves and just say, well, it's just too hard because I'm such a little tiny flower. And doing that laundry is going to be too hard because it's so big and I can't do it. Do we have a tendency to do that? We put ourselves in these positions of not being able to ever win. On one hand, we're overwhelmed, we're beating ourselves up. On the other hand, we're just giving ourselves excuses. And so I say all to that, this whole idea of procrastination, when procrastination rears its ugly head, you need to say, you know what, enough. This is my plan and this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to give you some ways out of the weeds to say this is enough, because procrastination has claimed too much of your life. When it's spending time spinning in our heads, like those plates. Do you guys ever remember watching the Ed Sullivan Show? My mother said, she said, that's you, Leanne, when I was older. But on the Ed Sullivan Show, you know, it was, and I won't explain it to you youngins, but you'll just have to look it up. But they had a guy on who would come on the show and he'd get all the spinning plates going, right? And he'd be moving the sticks and making all the plates, and you'd just be sitting there on the edge of your chair. Is a plate gonna fall? You know, is a plate gonna fall? And usually it doesn't. But you're just looking at it and you're just thinking all of that, all of those spinning plates and all of the energy that goes to just sit there and spin plates. Well, for heaven's sakes, we don't need to be spinning quite so many plates. What we need to be doing and what we need to be thinking about is, what can I do next? How can I get this off my list? And just in a very matter-of-fact way. We don't have to emote over it. We don't have to call friends. We don't have to make it. We simply need to just say, let's do this, and do it. That's it. That's it. We don't have to get on the Ed Sullivan Show and do spinning plates, nor do we have to be the juggler or figure out whatever metaphor you like. But the whole point of it is that just because you see somebody over here who's doing 8 million things doesn't mean you have to start comparing yourself to that person and thinking you're not good enough because you're not like her. It's not true. And we all have this. And I had this whole thing of comparison going on, especially when I was homeschooling. And I've watched these women who are homeschooling this whole group, of children that she had herself, like 10 kids, and her house was perfect and she had everything going. And I was just like, how do I be like you? Can't do it with 2 kids. Can't do it. I just always. And so, the thing that we have to look at is we have to look at what is it that we are capable of doing? What can we do? And how do we fix just this one thing? We don't have to fix the entire landscape of our lives or every jot and tittle right away, right now, today, and make it perfect, because it's, procrastination is rooted in perfectionism. And if you know me, you know exactly what I say about being perfect. Being perfect will not be seen this side of paradise. It's not for us, y'all. It's not. And that's why we get paralyzed. We can't go to perfect. It's not going to happen. And we don't even want to strive for perfect. We want to strive for excellence. And excellence is just merely making a few steps into the direction that we want to go and deciding for ourselves that this is what we want. So let's just talk about this. The first thing you need to do is make some baby steps that will help you with this. This is one of the reasons why I love creating routines just exactly like the Fly Lady. She taught me this years and years ago. And as a matter of fact, we have a journal called Take Back Your Life. And it's a journal for women desiring real change. And all we do is we break down our goals and we create them into routines. We call them rituals, and we make it bookends of our lives. And we have ways of correcting everything that we need to correct. And we make sure that in these routines, in these rituals, that we are building in our daily goals. We break our goals down to 90 days. And this is kind of what it looks like on the inside. You can see it. And I've got 2 workshops that basically teach you, goodness gracious, I'm not really good at this, am I? Yeah. I have 2 workshops that teach you how to use it. So if you're interested, go to savingdinner.com/journal and take a look. You can get all of these, you can get the PDF for $15 and just print it out for the rest of your life. Or you can get the hard copy. I know a lot of people, I'm a hard copy kind of gal. I like to have things like that in front of me. But this is how you create those doable steps to get you to those goals that you have in your life. Sometimes it's not laundry, maybe it's a fitness goal or something else, but you need to build those things in. And number 2 is that you need to understand that to make progress toward those things is a decision. It's a decision. And I'm going to give you something else too. You probably heard me say this before, but it's certainly worth saying again, is that even if you decide not to make a decision, you've still made a decision by default. You can't get out of it. You know, you have to be either actively, proactively involved in your decision making, or you just, you take a back seat to it and let the decision be made for you by default. And that's no way to live. You don't want to live by default. You want to live on purpose. So make a decision for yourself. That's how you're going to get forward, and that's how you're going to move past all of this and get exactly what it is that you want. It is absolutely unbelievable when you understand that making a decision is making a decision for your life. It's making a decision for what you want. Start looking at it that way, because that's how we expand on those things that we want. That's how we get there. Number 3 is have a space for what it is that you want to do. Now, let me just say this. I know a lot of you live in very small, tiny apartments, and some of you live in bigger houses or whatever. So you don't have the luxury of maybe having an office or a luxury of having a workout room or whatever. But you do have a place for whatever it is that you want, whether it's a basket by a chair or whatever. And when you designate and make a place for the things that it is that you're trying to do, whether it's planning out things, working out, having some reading or some book work or some whatever it is, if you make a place for that, then you will have a place to go and get it. And it will remind you every time, this is what I need to do. I will give you an example. I have some book work, some paperwork and things, because I'm just miserable at paperwork. I'm not good at it. This is not my thing. And when I was living in Charlotte, I had the very blessed opportunity to have an assistant who came in, once a month, took care of all the paperwork, make sure things were given to the bookkeeper, made everything just magical for me. I never had to touch it. Now, and then when we moved in 2016, we moved to Boulder, Colorado. That was in late 2016. And ever since then, my paperwork has been done haphazardly. I've got this big bag of paperwork. Guess what I'm going to do with that? I'm taking it downstairs. I've got a place for it. And as we sit, and maybe watch Netflix or whatever, I'm just going to start going through it and handle it that way. I've procrastinated long enough on it. Now it's got a place. It's downstairs. It's not hidden in my closet. So it's in front of me, and I know this is something that I need to do. That's how we take care of those things. The other thing I've shared with you before, and that's number 4, is to use your alarm as reminders. I use my alarms at 1:45, 2:45. It starts at 7:45 in the morning because I'm already up. And I start with drinking my water. I also go up and down the stairs. That gives me, by the end of the day, it gives me 10 flights of stairs. It also gets all of my water in, and it's not undone anymore. It helps so much just to do these kind of things, because it puts it front of mind. Because as we go into our work and doing all the things that we're doing, we forget. And then at the end of the day, we go, oh my gosh, I only got half of my water drank. I only did half of this or whatever. And I do the same thing with piggybacking on habits. So I do my first 4-minute workout while my coffee is brewing, and it just makes sense because something triggers that to make it so that we're going to get those different things done. It's just works beautifully for that. The 5th thing that I'm going to have for you is accountability. If you really want to get into the weeds in this and you really want to make this whole procrastination thing go away, get yourself a body clutter buddy. I can't even tell you. It's just, you got to do it, because then you can come to each other and it's one-on-one, and you just say, I'm really bad about fill in the blank. Hold me to an account. And you do that with each other, and you watch how much you grow, and you start taking care of business, and you start doing the things that you want to do. Amazing. Accountability is everything. And then you make yourself a reward for every step of the way, and make it a non-food reward. Can we just talk about that? Or make it a reward where it's a nice dinner at home, where you're going to put out the candles and maybe have a glass of wine. That kind of thing is a little bit different than just saying, okay, if I did this, I'm going to give myself a cupcake. Don't do that. That's crazy town, especially if it leads to, more of the same. And then the last thing is just start where you are. I have a big piece of advice for you that I hope you take to heart. And that is, accept right where you are today, warts and all of your imperfections, all of your procrastination. Just accept it. Accept the size of your butt. Accept the fact that you're not perfect. Accept all of it. Because when you start with radical acceptance of yourself, then you have the ability to see things in the truth, in the light, without all the excessive emotion and emoting, without all the hand-wringing, without all the stuff. You accept yourself right where you are. It doesn't mean that you just stay there. It means you accept yourself, you love yourself, and from there, you start to make progress toward that excellence that we all want. You know what excellence gives us? Excellence gives us new vibrancy in our lives. Excellence gives us a place to go. It's a GPS. That's all it is. And it gives us that much better of a journey as we go toward our goals. We're always going toward our goals, whether we're talking about them or not. We don't want to default to nothing. We want to go on purpose to something. We all have goals. We all have dreams. We all have a vision for ourselves. And what I say to you is, if you want the vibrancy in your life, then start looking and start focusing on the things that you want, not the things you don't want. Because what we look upon, what we see about, what we think about, that's what expands, and that's what becomes our reality. You ready to do this? I know I am. I'm ready for this. I'm motivated, and I'm motivated to drop the procrastination because it doesn't do a thing for me except make me feel bad. We don't need that. We just need a plan. That's it. A plan, some accountability, a place for everything. We need a little bit of reward. We need to practice radical self-acceptance, and we need to look toward excellence, because excellence will never, ever let us down. Don't you want to be known for that? I do, and I want your pinkies up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be hopping on over into our daily dish group. So join me there if you're a part of this. It's not the sprint, it's the blitz. We're going to be pumping down some collagen smoothies, baby. That's what we're going to be doing. Anyway, I'll see you over there in just a minute. Peace out, pinkies up, share this video, and don't forget, y'all, you get this little mindful mug when you get the Leptafix and the Crave Crusher, which, remember, it is called the Appetite Control Pack. This stuff is the bomb. I'll see you shortly. Peace.